Hi everyone, thanks for coming back and joining Claire and I again. We are laughing because it always goes wrong on the night. So we went live a couple of minutes ago and you may wonder why you didn't see us, and that's because John posted it to one of our other pages, Nifty Nozzles and Sugar and Crumbs, instead of Sugar and Crumbs with Nifty Nozzles. And we was thinking, why have we got no viewers? There we go. It's because it was went to that small page for 4.5 minutes. But anyhow, we're back and Claire's going to update you because we've had some problems with the, we've had some good things with the meringues and some bad things, but these are things that we need to show you that can go wrong, and Claire's just going to talk you through them. Okay, so we'll pop over to the oven.
Okay. So what we've done, I've just popped these back into this oven, but I had them in the oven on the other side before. Now, they're both the same oven, both installed at the same time, Carol tells me.
Yeah.
This oven is lovely and hot, this oven not so much. So you can see, if you get really close to me here, John, you can see that there are no feet whatsoever on these macarons. They are an absolute disaster. Not good at all. Pretty embarrassing to do live. But the good news is the other trays are perfect.
So it's not your fault, Claire, then, it's our fault.
No, it's John's fault technically because he's worn out the oven cooking too many meals.
So basically, because we've got 2 ovens in the kitchen, John uses one oven all the time. And it's like when you're baking, people ask me different temperatures about things, and their ovens work differently. Well, the older your oven is, the higher your temperature generally is going to go. And our oven, we put it on the temperature that Claire asked for, not thinking about it that John uses that oven the most. And I think that's where the problem's been. We should have knocked it up a notch or 2. Yeah. So do you want to tell them about what's gone on here then, Claire?
Okay, so I took these out of the oven about 8 minutes ago. I usually say leave them 8 to 10 minutes to rest on the trays when you take them out of the oven. But you can see as well, if I just move one of those shells from the colder oven, the colour difference. These are a little bit more faded and a little bit more brown, and that again, that oven's probably too hot, hotter than I want it to be. But still, we've got lovely feet on them, and that's all that matters. So what we're looking for at this stage when we remove them from our mats is that we can just pull them away, and this bottom here is absolutely gorgeous and smooth, unlike this one from our dodgy batch.
Yeah, because we have 2 batches in one oven. So one oven's too high because that's the oven we don't use too much, and that's why it's gone a brownish colour. And the other oven was too low because we use that oven all the time. So, but ladies, you're going to have to work out your ovens.
Exactly. It's all trial and error, and I would say using a thermometer in your oven, it does really help with baking.
So Claire, you mentioned you wasn't happy with the little crust on the top.
No, I'm not particularly happy, and I think that again is down to the weather. As I said at the beginning of the video we were working on earlier, I put in some extra sugar, and that's really because yesterday I was struggling a little bit, so I added some extra sugar and everything worked fine. Now it was sun and rain yesterday, quite humid. Today it's just absolutely lashed it down all day, hasn't it? So I thought, well, I'll try the same, but unfortunately today it's not great because our sugar hasn't quite dissolved enough. And you can see the difference between the batch I made at home yesterday and the batch we've made.
And did you use granulated in your own or caster sugar?
Yeah, I used granulated. You can use caster sugar if you're worried about it. It does dissolve a little faster. Yeah. It's just I've always made any sort of meringue base with granulated. It's just what I do. Yeah. So maybe not in future. Maybe we might change over to caster sugar.
Maybe in the future we won't make them in funny weather.
Yeah.
But you know what the good thing is, Claire, though, even though that you've got complaints about them, we've already tasted them, and you'll see from earlier there's quite a few missing because John, Maria, Claire and myself have been scoffing them.
Yeah.
They're absolutely delicious. These taste nice as well. We've already tasted these. We're going to get Claire just to pipe a few more, just in case a few of you missed it from before. Yeah. And I'll enjoy one of these. So I'll let you pop a few together.
Okay, so again, I'm just going to use just a handful of the icing that's in the bag and just leave the rest of the bag on my shoulder. And I'm just piping straight down a star into the... Oh, crikey. That's because it's been sat in my bag for a few minutes. Just going to pipe a little star into the centre of a few. And I like using a star tip when I'm filling these, and only because it just looks a little bit prettier from the side view.
I agree with you.
Traditionally, you'd use a round tip,
but
I just think these look cute. So that's why I do it.
And then Claire, you were saying that the pink colour, our pink is not as dark as yours.
Yes.
Which colours do you use?
I'll be honest, I have a bit of everything in my kitchen. So I've got Sugar Flare, I've got Pro Gels, and I've got Colour Splash.
Me too. Yeah.
See, when I'm using the Colour Splash for macarons because of the oven, I should really know that I need to use a little bit more.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Whereas if you're baking into a sponge or mixing it with buttercream or sugar paste, the Colour Splash are really, really vivid. So it's just one of those. I'm not overly keen on Sugar Flare for this. I think they're a bit too thick. Yeah. So I'd say your Colour Splash or your Pro Gel is the best option for these.
Yeah, I found that when I've used the Sugar Flare, if it's the lump, some of the gels are really nice and liquefied, and some of them are quite lumpy.
Some of them are very
and
thick.
They don't mix. But I would have said as well that for the macarons, I would give yourself a really, really good squeeze of that bright pink.
Yeah, definitely.
So let's stick a few of those together then. Yes. So who did come back and join us? Who have we got back here and join us?
I'm going to stick two opposite colours together. Beautiful.
So if anybody wants to know how they taste, I will tell you that they taste good. And like when Laura made those raspberry ripple marshmallows and I scoffed the lot, I reckon that's what's going to happen to these. So the boys, I best get these into work tomorrow fairly sharpish, because otherwise I'm going to be double the size next week. They are yummy. Even John's been eating them and he doesn't have a sweet tooth. Maria, I never see Maria eat anything apart from a lunch, and she's had a few already.
Maria said they were a triumph, didn't she?
Yeah. How many have you had today, Claire?
I've not been bad. I've only had the two. So
Only two.
Only had the two.
They're
only
things.
teeny tiny, aren't they? They're only a mouthful.
Yeah, they are boorish, these things. So, what I am going to say now, I don't think there's much more that we can show you. If anybody wants to quickly shout out a quick question, I'll get Claire to answer them. But otherwise, I'm just going to say thank you for joining us. Hope you join us next week. I've got Lindsay McIver joining us next week, and she's going to be doing mint chocolate Viennese swirls, and I will do my easiest easiest peony, and I'm going to do something with nifty nozzles, which I haven't done tonight. Don't know what, I'll have a think about it. The following week we've got Karen Davies joining us from with her silicone moulds, so she's going to come over and do a demo of those, which I'm really looking forward to. And I hope to see you next week. Sorry for those who've had problems with their internet connection. It looks like when I was reading through the feed afterwards, most of you got it sorted out. We've got no problems here. If there's anything wrong with the sound, maybe I was just a bit quieter tonight, but I do feel as though I've been going out loud. So just turn your volume up, that will help. And I want to say a big thank you, Claire, for coming along, and I hope you do join us again. It was last minute. She has been working all day, God bless her. Shot off from work at 5 o'clock, through the traffic, got here. So well done for that. And if you can all give her a big love heart to say thank you for joining us, I will be ever so grateful. Do pop along to her page, and if you ever get to one of her classes, I'm not just bigging her up, she's so easy to teach with, you'll love it. Well worth the investment. So I'll see you all next week. I'm not going to do a catch up because we've come back again. So I will see you all next week, 8 o'clock with Lindsay. Bye-bye.
Bye.